I can do. Give me the power. I've asked for the very day I got in office. Give me the border patrol. Give me the people. Give me the people, the judges. Give me the people who can stop this and make it work for us.
Yeah, well, sorry, Joe. If you did all you could do, you would have closed the border already, and you would have stopped the crime wave and a lot of other problems as well. Anyway, let's talk. We have Joe Concha, media and politics columnist for The Messenger and Fox News contributor, and Mark Simone, WOR Hall of Fame radio show host every day from 10 to noon.
Yes.
Thank you. Got to get that right. Mark Simone, why is Joe Biden running? He can't seem to do anything right. Seriously.
I wouldn't call that running. I'd call it hobbling, crawling. He just lies all the time. Just give me the power over the border. There's 17 places in the Constitution to give him absolute power over the border. And that Border Patrol agent is one of the big lies. He, besides all the other things, took the Border Patrol agents and now have them in processing centers just doing processing. He wants more border agents to increase the processing, put them back on the border patrolling.
Right.
This is an absolute mess. They used to say it's the economy, stupid. Everybody's saying now it's the border, stupid.
Can I just follow through on this? Joe, be with you in a sec, believe
Sure,
me.
take your time.
We have some tape of this horrible New York Police Department, two NYPD guys, mugged or whatever. Look at this. These are illegals. And if this weren't bad enough, instead of standing up for it, nobody stood up for these cops. So far as I know, the mayor hasn't said a word about this. But they were released on their own reconnaissance right after. Yes, bad. I'm sure they were charged with a felony, I think. But they were released right away. I don't think there was any bail set. They were just released. Now, this is the worst part of this story. And it's in New York. It's in Long Island. It's in Chicago. It's in Chicago suburbs. It's in California, all these sanctuary states. I just want to put this up there because this has become a law and order, and no one's backing the long blue line. This goes back to a couple years ago, and everybody was attacking the cops. No one is backing the long blue line the way they should.
No, you got, in Chicago, 40 people had formed a gang robbing stores. In New York, they've identified 100 migrants who have formed a pickpocket operation, a tough skill to learn. You've got stuff like this going on. One report I just saw, 5 people a day are killed by illegals in the United States. That's a lot of people. And again, they're being released. We have these crazy district attorneys. We've got one in New York, put in there by George Soros. The governor won't remove him. We've got 26 of those in the United States put in by George Soros. Bad DAs.
Joe, I said at the top of the show in the riff, I said, we have got to put law and order policing back into our political vocabulary. It has been taken out. Now, I can't, Joe Biden is not responsible for every individual crime, but you reap what you sow, and the border is what he sowed.
He sowed it in 2019 during a primary debate where he urged illegals to surge the border. That's an exact quote. Right. And that was the cue, and that's when they started coming in. As far as the president saying, Congress needs to act, Congress needs to give me the tools to stop this. At last check, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the House for the first 2 years of this president's presidency. They also controlled the Senate. They could have passed whatever they wanted to then, and they didn't because this is all intentional. The bottom line is that Joe Biden is polling at 18% approval, ABC News poll, on the border. It's a #1 issue. Yeah. You tell me why that matters. Well, in swing states, there's a poll out today from Morning Consult. You have Joe Biden trailing in Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. If he loses all those states, you're talking about a Reagan-esque type of landslide.
Right. It's incredible. Speaking of landslides, another subject. So Nikki Haley, our friend Nikki Haley, had fundraisers in New York City, and she raised about $1.5 million, which is really a drop in the bucket. Meanwhile, very interesting report today on another network's news, but Paul Singer, huge political giver, and he brings with him a big crowd of donors. They did not start with Trump, but Trump's campaign manager, Susie Wiles, spoke to them, and they are now moving in Trump's direction. So this is a big turn of events. The donors are really not shelling out for Nikki, and they're getting ready to shell out for Trump.
Well, that's the thing about these donors. They will back you like crazy till they see which way the wind's blowing.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, there's an event at Mar-a-Lago where a lot of them will be showing up, those donors, to worm their way back into Trump world. And the one thing about those donors, they always back the wrong person, and they always desert them before anybody else. They're wonderful people.
What's the story? Nikki Haley's going to get blown out in South Carolina, and then she pulls out.
4 or 5 touchdowns, yeah, sort of 28, 35 points, that sort of tally that we're seeing right now. Because Trump has the endorsements of the sitting governor, both sitting senators, popular Republicans like Nancy Mace. So the headwinds against Nikki Haley, who seems to have lost any sort of momentum she may have had going into New Hampshire a little bit because she still lost by double digits. So she's out. And then we're going to have the longest, I think you made this point once, Mark, the longest general election season of all time. No Super Tuesday, none of the fun. We go right to Biden versus Trump. And then all the speculation around if Biden will be the nominee.
What will we do? It'll be horrible. Get the shakes.
Talk business.
But yeah, in a pinch, we could be a business show.
Sure.
But I know you want to talk vice president.
Yeah.
Now, the conventional wisdom here, political science textbooks and all the rest, the Veep candidate doesn't really matter. Now, you think this year is going to be different. It is going to really matter. Tell us why. Because
Donald Trump, if he wins, will be a one-term president.
Yes.
So 2 years after November 2024, that election cycle starts. Who's the front runner? It's almost always the vice president in this situation. So who he chooses here very well could be the 48th president. On the Democratic side, your vice president is currently Kamala Harris, where 22% of independents, basically 1 in 5, could see her taking the reins as president right now. That is a horrible number. There is no confidence in her whatsoever. So on Trump's side, who he decides to pick could very well be the next president. And on the other side, if Joe Biden, if for whatever reason he decides he just doesn't want to be president anymore, then Kamala Harris is your president. And that's something that Donald Trump should be driving home on a daily basis, that is the alternative right now.
Mark, 30 seconds on this.
Yeah, they say a vice president won't get you any votes, but it can lose you votes, and that's Kamala Harris. Trump needs a black candidate, a woman, something like that. I like Byron Donalds.
A fundraiser?
Byron Donalds.
Yeah, Sarah Huckabee.
But you don't care about someone who's qualified to be president. That's a trick question.
Yeah, okay. You can't take a legislator. Sarah Huckabee, a governor. Not a lot of experience, but a governor.
Tim Scott. Money.
I'm going to give you another shot. It's a bidding contest. I'm just watching the clock up. At 44, I got to get out.
I'd say Vivek, but not ready. He's going to go to the cabinet.
All right. We will wait and see. I'm keeping...
Oh, I hope it's not you.
No, it's not going to be me.
Okay.
I'm just keeping my thoughts to myself right now. Mark Simone, Joe Concha. What's the name of the new book?
Progressively Worse.
I just love that. Progressively
Why today's
worse.
Democrats are not your daddy's donkey.